African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command in combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation as of August 2, 2025. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct a special military operation. Units of the North Group of Forces have improved their tactical position. The manpower and equipment of 2 mechanized, Ranger, 2 airborne assault brigades and an assault regiment of the armed forces of Ukraine were defeated in the areas of the settlements of Malaya Korchakhovka, Okop, Pershitravnya, Unikovka and Andrievka in the Sumy region. In the Kharkiv direction, units of the Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the Territorial Defense Brigade were defeated in the areas of the settlements of Volchansk and Okremovka in the Kharkiv region. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost over 175 servicemen, a tank, 8 vehicles, and 3 artillery pieces. 6 ammunition and material depots were destroyed. Units of the West Group of Forces improved the situation along the forward edge. They defeated formations of 2 mechanized and an airmobile brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces in the areas of the settlements of Torskoy, Lozovoy, Novosolovka of the Donetsk People's Republic and Kupiansk of the Kharkiv region. That the enemy's losses amounted to over 230 servicemen, an armored combat vehicle, 13 vehicles, 2 field artillery pieces. For ammunition depots, a U.S.-made and /TPQ-48 counter-battery station and 7 electronic warfare stations were destroyed. Units of the Southern Group of Forces decisively liberated the settlement of Alexandro Kalinovo of the Donetsk People's Republic. Defeat was inflicted on the manpower and equipment of 3 mechanized, mountain assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and a National Guard brigade in the areas of the settlements of Kleb and Byk, Serebryanka, Pleshchevka, Alexandro Sheltino, Konstantinovka, Svanovka, and Ivanpoli of the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost up to 150 servicemen, 3 combat armored vehicles, including a U.S.-made M113 armored personnel carrier, a pickup truck, 3 artillery pieces, and an electronic warfare station. Units of the Center Group of Forces improved their tactical position. Defeat was inflicted on formations of 3 mechanized, airborne brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a Marine brigade and 2 National Guard brigades in the areas of the settlements of Dmitrov, Yudaknoy, Petrovskoy, Krasnoarmysk, Vladimirovka of the Donetsk People's Republic and Daknoy of the Dnipropetrovsk region. The losses of the Ukrainian Armed Forces amounted to more than 410 servicemen, 6 armored combat vehicles, including a U.S.-made HMMWV armored vehicle and a Turkish-made Kirpi armored vehicle, 3 cars, and 4 field artillery guns. Units of the East Troop Group continued to advance deep into the enemy's defense. They inflicted damage on the personnel and equipment of mechanized and mountain assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Marine Brigade, Territorial Defense Brigades, and National Guard brigades in the areas of the settlements Algovsko, Timirovka, Poltavka in Zaporizhia region, Novopetrovsko, Yanvarsko, Voronezh in Dnipropetrovsk region, and Iskra in the Donetsk People's Republic. The armed forces of Ukraine lost up to 205 servicemen, 7 vehicles, an artillery gun, and a radio. Electronic warfare station. Units of the Dnieper Troop Group inflicted damage on formations of 2 mechanized brigades, 3 coastal defense brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and 3 territorial defense brigades in the areas of the settlements Lukyanovsko, Pavlovka, Stepnogorsk in Zaporizhia region, Sadovo, Antonovka, and Tokarevka in Kherson region. The enemy lost over 80 servicemen, a vehicle, 2 field artillery guns, and 6 radio electronic warfare stations. An Israeli-made Rada radar station, 5 ammunition and material supply depots were destroyed. Operational tactical aviation, strike unmanned aerial vehicles, missile troops, and artillery of the Russian Armed Forces troop groups affected damage on drone storage sites, temporary deployment points of Ukrainian formations and foreign mercenaries in 132 areas. Air defense means shot down a guided aerial bomb and 338 airplane-type unmanned aerial vehicles. In total, since the start of the special military operation, destroyed 664 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 74,186 unmanned aerial vehicles, 624 anti-aircraft missile systems, 24,418 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,584 multiple launch rocket systems, 28,103 field artillery guns and mortars, 39,015 units of special military automotive equipment. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.